Remember that discless gaming future that Microsoft was trying to usher in back in 2013 when they first announced the Xbox One? Well, now it seems like it's actually happening. And you know what? I'm okay with it. Skip it up and that up. So let's go all the way back to 2009 when Sony released a system or an update to a current portable system they had, which was the PlayStation Portable. They released the PSP Go on October of 2009. And the thing about it is that there was no actual drive in there. There wasn't a UMD disk drive. You actually only could download games via the PlayStation Store onto a memory stick, not even micro SD or an SD card. It was Sony's proprietary memory. And the system hit with a resounding thud. Okay. I mean, first off, in 2009, people were far, far from ready to go to an only digital future. On top of it too, memory stick, not SD card, seriously. And it was a system that was ahead of its time, but no one was ready for it. And people were like, yeah, I'll just get a regular PSP so I can get UMDs from GameStop or Best Buy. I'm not going to spend money and just download all my games on the PlayStation Store. That is insane. And at the time, I kind of agree with them. It was. And that's why the system didn't sell well. Now, if you fast forward to 2013, when Microsoft first revealed the Xbox One, there was even rumors they weren't going to have an optical drive on the original Xbox One. They were trying to do this digital-only future or digital-only business model back then. So, but at the time, people were freaking out over it. We remember what they were trying to do with you had to be always online with the Xbox One. They were going to check if your system was online, and they were going to have a whole weird trade-in setup where you had to trade in games at certain retailers, and you couldn't just give your friend the disc. They would have to like go get the disc like authorized to them. It was insane. But the thing is that Microsoft was also trying to do this digital-only future even before anyone thought it was okay. Well, it seems that Microsoft is going to take another crack at a digital distribution-only console, and it's not going to be next-gen. It's going to be an Xbox One. It's going to be cheaper than the current Xbox One S, and it's not going to have an optical drive. No optical drive. You can only play games by downloading them from the Xbox Store or Microsoft Store. Now again, this new super slim optical disc drive-less Xbox One is going to be coming out in 2019. It has nothing to do with the whole Project Scarlet thing. That's rumored to come out in 2020. This is just Microsoft wants to cut some logical corners. They feel are logical corners so they can make the entry to buying an Xbox One system cheaper. Now, you're probably thinking, Rich, this isn't going to work. There's no way, the Xbox One or the 8th gen consoles, yes, digital distribution is becoming more and more popular and people are buying less physical copies, but people are going to want a way to get physical games because if they go to get the games from the used market or whatever the case may be, go to a GameStop during a sale, they're going to want to be able to pick up games and play them in their Xbox One. And with this new system, they won't be able to do that, but they will be. Microsoft is said to be launching a disc-to-digital program where participating retailers like the Microsoft Store, possibly GameStop or Best Buy, where you could bring a physical game there, a physical Xbox One game, get a code and use that code to download the game on this digital distribution only Xbox One console that seems to be coming out in 2019. So they got you covered with that. That's really interesting. They thought of that. So, this Xbox One didn't end up like the PSP Go. Now with the base Xbox One S that has a disk drive, don't worry. Microsoft isn't putting that to the wayside and they're not going to discontinue that. What they're actually going to do is revise that system to make it more efficient to manufacture it, aka make it cheaper, so that becomes more affordable as well. So that would be interesting. Say they have the Xbox One S with an optical drive at like $249.99, and they have this Xbox One S or Xbox One Slim, let's call it, without an optical drive for $199.99. So Microsoft's making some interesting moves right now, man, and it'll be interesting to see how this discless Xbox One sells if it comes to fruition, because there's rumors still that it might be canceled. That they're just probably putting it out there to cover their asses. I'm assuming it's going to come out, but I just want to let you know that as well. It may never come to fruition as well. It's funny, man, how times have changed. If Microsoft was coming out with this system in 2014, I would have had a much different opinion, because it was a much different time 4 years ago. You know, people, the internet around the world was much different, especially in the States. There's still people with terrible internet here, but the gaming community has become much more open-minded towards digital distribution. Like I said back when they first announced the Xbox One, I was already well acquainted with downloading my games, because on PC, with PC gaming, on Steam, on Origin, so on and so forth, I was used to just downloading games. I can't remember the last time I bought a physical copy of a PC game. I'm thinking maybe 2009, 2010, and then from there on out, I started with Steam and never looked back. But console gamers back in 2013, like I said, they weren't ready. They weren't ready to give up physical media, you know, and even though physical media is subsiding and digital distribution is increasing, to just try to cram it down their throats like Microsoft did when they first announced the Xbox One wasn't the right approach. But now that people are more acquainted with digital distribution, they accept it more, they enjoy it, they see the conveniences of it. There's downsides too to digital distribution. I've talked about it before. I think now Microsoft releasing this console, like they kind of wanted to do in 2013, will be accepted. And the fact that they're letting you trade in basically physical versions of games at participating retailers to get a code so you could download them, that was a smart business move, man. I'm pretty sure that's going to come to fruition, and well played, Microsoft. That'll definitely make this new discless Xbox One more approachable, especially at that $199 price point, man. I bet you it's going to sell real well. So the bottom line is it's interesting to see. Times have changed. My attitudes towards systems like this have changed, and I think the general consumer, especially with this disc trade-in program where you get a code where you can download games, I think they're going to accept it as well. It took a lot more time than people thought, but here you go, Microsoft. This discless future that you wanted to have happen and predicted would happen in 2013 is starting to happen now. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.
Hey, congratulations! If you made it to the end of the video, you should subscribe to Review Tech USA so you can hear me blabber on some more. Also, too, starting this month, I will be live streaming solely on Twitch. I'll have a link to my Twitch channel below in the description. And last but not least, make sure you click that like button. It helps out the show big time. See you guys in the next video.